Hey, Kevin Martin here, your UT admissions guy. I'm currently in the Dutch-speaking country of Suriname in South America, and I didn't check my emails yesterday because I was looking for green and leatherback turtles who were hatching their eggs on the beach. And so I was up till like 2 in the morning looking for the turtles. And so I just now checked my emails, and obviously yesterday was a big day because UT released all of their admissions decisions for regular admission. So students got the final word of whether they gained admission to UT, and there was also some students who were disappointed by receiving either CAP or PACE. So I want to make this video to talk a little bit about your admissions decision this year and maybe what you can do moving forward. So the first thing I want to say is congratulations to all of those students who gained admission to the University of Texas. I know for many of you, UT Austin is your first choice university. It's your dream school. You have parents that went there, and I hope that UT is everything that you hope it will be and more. Because with those high expectations, right, there's this kind of also this pressure to succeed and kind of start this new chapter of your life on the right foot. I know there was also many students who were disappointed with receiving their admissions decision. I even received emails from a few of my clients, like honestly really surprised at a few of them that didn't gain admission. And it just goes to show not only how competitive UT Austin is, but also just how like seemingly random the process is, right? It's like I've spent my career in higher education. Like writing a book on UT Austin admissions. I read Reddit College Confidential daily to see which students are succeeding in this process. And even I can't tell like who's going to get in and who's not, right? Like you can only control the process, and outcomes can oftentimes be super random. There are students that gained early admission to UT, for example, that I was kind of surprised, got in. Period. And there's others that apply to highly selective programs like computer science or engineering that had near perfect credentials that didn't gain admission. Last year, UT Austin received a record number of applications, about 47,000 students, admitting about 19,500 applicants. And so that was both a record number of applicants and a record number of admitted students. And it's possible this year that UT could have admitted 50,000 or had more than 50,000 applied students. In 2006, about 26,000 students applied for UT Austin. And so in about 10 years, the competition has almost doubled from where it was. And so if UT decided to admit less students to enroll a smaller class, it's possible that not only were there a record number of applicants, but also less admitted students than there had been historically. I know, especially for computer science and engineering, there was a lot of disappointed applicants. So let me tell you something about computer science, right? So in 2010, they had 475 applicants for about 275 spaces. Last year, there were 2,700 applicants for about 550 admitted students. So in 6 years, computer science saw a 500% increase in applicants seeking first choice major to computer science. And so the admissions rate is like 21 or 22%. And no doubt, like just judging anecdotally from how many students are interested in computer science, not just at UT, but at other universities nationwide, it would not surprise me if computer science saw an even larger jump, 10, 20% more applicants this year. And it's also my guess that computer science has admitted a few less students than they did last year because they're trying to catch up with the demand for spaces, and it's just simply not possible. Engineering has also seen their application numbers double since 2010, and so last year they received about 12,000 applicants for roughly around 4,000 spaces. And so I have no doubt that as the economy becomes kind of more unpredictable, more uncertain, students and families are looking for more of these silver bullet type majors, of which engineering and computer science are seen as favorable options. Macomb School of Business is another major that many students seek, and that also has admissions rates around 25%. And so, if you weren't gaining admission to some of these programs, I really stress not to take it personally. Like if you tie your self-worth to college admissions outcomes, you're really setting yourself up for disappointment. I hope for many of you that you can take a step back and, say to yourself, hey, you know what, I gave it my best shot. I started my essays early. I had people edit it. I really kind of made the most out of my 4 years in high school. And if things didn't work out for UT Austin or other universities, then, at the end of the day, that's their loss, right? Like there's like many universities out there that would love to have you. And I hope that you take this not as kind of a like an arrow through your heart, so to speak, but maybe as an opportunity to grow. I know that for some of you, this will be, maybe the first time that you haven't succeeded or the first time that you've been told no. And it's really up to you. Like, how are you going to handle it? Like the old cliche goes, if you fall off the horse, you got to get back on. And this is really going to be a crossroads for many of you in deciding how it is you determine what you're going to do moving forward. And so I always like to think constructively about what to do moving forward. I know the first question on many of your minds is like, should I appeal? So I already have like a half dozen emails in my inbox from students and families asking about the appeals process. The reality is like appeals don't usually work, right? Like I would maybe say like 1% of appeals are going to be successful. You have to like demonstrate like significantly new information. And like when I worked for UT, I was on the appeals committee, and I'm not sure there was ever a case that I was on where a student like had such an impressive accomplishment that it changed their admissions decision. The second way an appeals like might work is if like there was some major error in your application documents, like so your transcript, like your class rank was written down incorrectly, your SAT score didn't arrive on time, your essays got lost. Sometimes an appeal can work with that. Third, like very rare instance of an appeal working is if you're a twin. So if your twin brother or sister gained admission to UT and you didn't, there's sort of an unofficial policy to admit twins and not like separate them out. So other than that, I mean, you're welcome to appeal, and like they're most likely just going to say, thanks for your appeal, we've reconsidered your application, and like nothing's changed. It won't hurt, but again, like there's not really even much I can do to help you out. So if you want to ask me, you can, but I'm probably just like going to say I can't help much. The other option, so cap, right? A lot of students say like I got capped, like UT Austin capped me as if like it's a verb and they're getting shot or something. And so I know cap can seem like the end of the world, but I know there's many students who take cap as an option. About 1/3 of all transfers that come into UT Austin come through the coordinated admissions program, where they attend a UT system school, maintain a 3.2 GPA, and they're guaranteed admission, I believe, to liberal arts and undergraduate studies. And then if you want to apply to another major, you have to compete for those spaces with all the other transfer students. But cap can be a cool option. I mean, I know students kind of at first glance like, oh, I don't want to do cap, but I recommend looking into it, right? What many students find is they'll enroll at UT San Antonio or UT Tyler, decide that they like it, and don't even attempt a transfer process, even though they have the 3.2 GPA. So it's certainly an option to consider. It's nice to have that guaranteed admissions on the table. The other option is PACE, right? So PACE is offered to like a select number of students. I haven't heard of too many who have been offered PACE this year. I have no idea who gets PACE and who doesn't. It's just kind of like one of UT's many secrets. But that allows you to complete your core curriculum at an Austin Community College campus, co-enrolled at UT Austin. So you take a few classes on the main campus, and that's a cool deal because if you have a certain GPA, they'll guarantee you transfer. And I know like many students outside of Austin have this dream of like going to Austin Community College so they can settle down in Austin. So PACE might be an option for you if you were already like looking at going to community college in your local community. That could be a cool choice because again, it has that guaranteed component. And the last option is just like the normal transfer process, right? Like 4 years is a long time, and I know especially when you're in high school and everyone's talking about their decisions and you're seeing it on Facebook and people are posting their stats on College Confidential. It can be like very intimidating and very like discouraging, right? But like 4 years is a long time. Like you guys are 17, 18 years old. Like you have your entire life ahead of you. And again, I know like this is probably the single biggest crossroads you face so far. But attend a university, like go into it with an open mind, go into it with a positive attitude, try and make the most out of wherever you end up enrolling. And if you still like just bleed burnt orange and you can't imagine being anywhere else, look into the transfer process. You can start that process, once you get your grades back from fall of your freshman year, and begin that application over winter break. Like I'm working with a lot of transfer students right now. And a lot of them are attending, great universities and deciding, hey, this just isn't really the fit for me. And they have like quite valid reasons for wanting to change locations. So I know this video is getting a little bit long. I appreciate you watching today. I know this is an anxious, stress-filled process, and I hope that you just take a few days to kind of, let it ride and get it out of your system, and don't make any rash decisions. Like don't make any emotional decisions. Just sleep on it, and assess things, tomorrow morning or on Monday and see what's going on. But I wish you all the best of luck on wherever your next chapter takes you. As always, feel free to get in touch. Kevin at texadmissions.com. Thanks, and I hope you have a great day.